Hello, Scrappy Peeps. Suzanna here today for the Scrap Room to share with you this multi-photo kitchen layout created using the Adventurous collection from Paige Evans. So when you subscribe to the kit, you will get a selection of those embellishments, 3 pattern papers. These are the 3 papers that are in the main kit, that cool stripe, and then 2 pieces of cardstock. If you have the add-ons, which I get, you'll have these 2 pieces for the pattern paper add-ons, and then these thickers or selection of thickers, or yes, puffy stickers for the embellishment add-on. So I am not sure where exactly I want to start with this project. My initial thought was that I would use this piece of pattern paper that I'm putting the photos on and sort of color block it and then add some of the stripes through that. But I changed my mind. And so that's one of the beauties of scrapbooking is you don't always have to know from the get-go what it is that you want to do. So then I'm looking at these scallop stripes, sort of, I'm going to call them messy scallop stripes. And I'm thinking, oh, that looks good. I like doing this column of cascade. And then I could do color coordinated embellishments with that. But I want to use more than just a single piece of paper. So how can I add more visual interest to this? Frames and flowers. And of course, so my daughter here is cooking lemon meringue. We had a bunch of lemons from Costco, and so she decided she was going to make, she'd already made a ton of lemonade, and so she decided she was going to make lemon meringue bars. So those lemons as embellishments were perfect. So here I've created my cascade, but I don't like it going all the way down the page, especially with the multiple photos because it's very busy. So I decide if I have my cascade go sort of across the page, but up and down across the page, well, more across the page, sort of on a carousel up and down, and then I have my white space up above, then I am happier because there is some resting spot for your eyes. So the visual interest comes from these frames. So one is a chipboard frame, and then the other is one of the die-cut ephemera pieces. And then I have these florals and these lemons that just add little splashes of color that lead your eye from photo to photo. So in a sense, there is a visual triangle in that there are 3 flowers, but then I have those lemons. And so it's really more just the flow, literally like a carousel. The horse is going up and down. You've got the picture that goes from top to bottom and then back up to the top to the bottom within those scalloped stripes. Yeah. So I framed this photo because I have 2 of the other photos that are framed. And it felt like the other photos then needed framing in order to just pop them and pull them from the busyness of those stripes. And me being me, liking dimension, I'm going to mix both 1/2 inch and 1/4 inch foam just to fill this so that things don't sink down into that space in between where I put the foam, and pop up. I actually end up popping up all of the flowers and the lemons. Just again, because of the busyness of those colors going across the page, I just felt like I needed that shadow there to just create that depth on the page. I thought it would be fun to fussy cut some of the scallops here and tuck one of those frames in, again, just for a little bit of, when you've got that change in depth, it creates a little bit more pop to the page, literally. And so by tucking that in behind, it's something that stands out from the other 3 and then creates that visual interest in there. So all sorts of little tricks that you can play on the viewer to captivate their interest, right? So that it's not just this mundane, oh, there's another frame, oh, there's another photo. This photo is distinct from the others and therefore sort of more captivates your interest. So as I said, I wanted to matte all of the photos. I didn't want more yellow, so I went with this other piece of pattern paper. And now I've used more than just one piece of pattern paper. It's as simple, right? Sometimes it's just really literally as simple as creating layers behind your photos or matting the photos. I am not known to be a photo matter, but I do like to create layers, and so that's one way of adding to the layers of the the page there. So I have all 4 photos. I have embellishments for each of those 4 photos. And now I have that lovely chipboard piece that I know I want to incorporate into the title. And so I need to finish up that space up at the top there with the title. I want a long title there to maintain the white space, but also use it and use it wisely without trapping any space. So as I was designing, I knew I had adventure. And while this is a travel themed collection, this is very clearly not a travel themed layout, but you can still have adventures in the kitchen. And so my title is going to be Hello Kitchen Adventure. So I am using these waffle flower alphas metal dies, and I'm going to use that yellow pattern paper there. It's just tone on tone, so it's easy to read, and then integrate the yellow from the lemons, which is the theme, the lemon meringues bars. And I will line those up and spare you the agony of watching that entire process. And die cut my letters, and then I will put the title together on the page there. So I wanted a little bit of overlap, but the problem is I have these 2 high photos, and so adventure was too long to fit between the 2 of them, and I didn't have enough space in the photo that I could overlap the title over the actual photo itself. So I'm going to overlap it over the flower a little bit there, and that way I am not getting any trapped space. Trapped space is where it kind of like you have a box, and there's nothing in that box. It's just empty, and it's almost like an echo chamber. Your eye just gets caught circling around in that space there, and so that's what I tried to avoid there. So I will spare you the agony of this, but I realized there that I used a U instead of an N. It's a small detail, but it's one that if I pick it up is just going to annoy me for the rest of my life. So I take the U off, I pull out the N so that I remember to die cut the N, and I'll put the rest of the letters on. And so the title of this is going to be Hello Kitchen Adventure. And then I will off camera, because I never journal on camera, right in the bottom of the scallop, and then underneath at the bottom of the page there. And you'll see that in the close-ups. I just used a black pen and went ahead and told my story in there. And liquid adhesive always for chipboard for me. It just, because I have the fine tip applicator on there, it just makes it so much easier to get that stuck down. I find that with the weight of chipboard, the dots often pull up, especially when they're stored horizontally, like I like to do horizontally, standing up vertically. So just trying to incorporate a little bit more of the embellishment. So that just says XOXO, and I'm sticking tone on tone to that. And that, my friends, is pretty much going to wrap it up. I'm going to just stick this flower in there, and yeah, that's going to wrap it up. So this is a layout for the scrap room. It is a kit club, but there are one-offs available. So be sure to check out the website and join us. There's also a fun Facebook group too with challenges over there. So enjoy the close-ups. Thanks for stopping in today. I hope you're doing well. Come back again soon. Take care.